Me neither. Dude, I did a good one.
He did better than me.
I can't paint. I did such a good one.
You both say that you can't do it, but I'm pretty sure your shit would turn out better than mine.
I can't art.
The famous quote of Bob Ross, your shit would turn out better than mine.
My thing is, though,
anybody can shit on a painting.
Whether it's...
It was a spit take. No! How are you not recording?
Welcome back to episode number 5. Thanks, Hated It. I am Ryan, your resident sweet treat, also known as Brownie.
Ryan Bergara.
I don't know what that reference is.
Ryan Reynolds.
I don't like that reference.
Ryan Bergara is the guy from Watcher. He's the guy who used to be on BuzzFeed.
I still don't know who that is.
Okay, I didn't know your last name for like 3 years. I drank a lot, okay?
No, that's fair.
So every time I put you on my phone for like the third time, because again, I drank a lot.
Yes.
There would be a different name in there for Ryan something. And like 3 times I put you under Ryan Bergara.
Fair enough.
And then I finally learned it was Brown. And then I didn't like that. So now you're just Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I did notice that I'm Ryan Gosling.
And for whatever reason, now that you call
Ryan Gosling. That's what his name was.
See, I'm not opposed to that
remember.
because while he is, yes, a much better looking person than me, I feel like I'm cooler than him. So
Ooh.
I don't know. Ryan Gosling's pretty good.
He's a good actor.
Like there's a bunch
I'm just
of
cooler than
Justins I'm cooler than. But like you talk about Justin Long and Justin Timberlake, I'm like,
See, well, no, Justin Timberlake lost cool points.
Well, I heard with the DUI and shit, but I mean, for 20 years, man, he was
cool.
JT.
Yeah,
he was doing that movie with Mila Kunis. I actually like that one with him when he does
Friends
the
with Benefits. Was
is that what it is?
Yeah,
One of my favorites.
I like the one where it's like you're out of time.
In Time.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
that's
literally
so
called
fun.
In Time.
And it's so funny.
I don't remember who the lead actress is. In
is the
The
other
chick
chick
from,
that looks like your ex.
Oh dear, that's the one from the new movie.
Mamma Mia. No.
What?
She's from Mamma Mia.
Not what I'm talking
We're
about.
talking about it. It's literally
In
right
Time.
there. I see
it's,
it.
the chick from Mamma Mia.
Well, the one I'm thinking of is the
Miserables.
recent one with Harry Styles
No.
and Florence Pugh.
No.
Is that not the same chick?
Amanda Seyfried.
Amanda Seinfeld.
Seyfried.
Seyfried.
However you say her last name.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I thought that was the chick from Call Me Darling, Call Me Dearly.
No,
The hell's that
she's
movie?
Midsommar too.
No, not Florence Pugh. I thought it was the other woman in the movie with Florence Pugh and Harry Styles.
Olivia Wilde?
Yes, that one. I thought that was Olivia
they
Wilde.
don't even look anything alike.
No, they kinda
they
do.
do not.
In this movie. No, in this movie. On the back.
Okay.
They like made her
Just-
look like Olivia Wilde.
Because she's in black hair.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. I'm just saying.
Just the styling of
Yeah.
it.
I
makes
thought
sense.
she was Olivia Wilde from the character design. That's
No.
all.
I don't like that movie.
It's
I don't like that
6 out
movie.
of 10.
No. It's like a 3 or a 4 for me, but that's just from personal reasons.
It's your traumas
I don't want to
reflecting.
know when the fuck I'm gonna die. I don't. I really don't. That's not my cup of tea.
I died once.
I hated it.
Hated it.
Yeah, same.
Did you drown?
No,
Oh.
I almost died
Boring.
multiple times.
I just died.
But that's a
just let
different
it go.
podcast.
I was laughing so hard.
Died in your
my
arms
God.
tonight. We get copyright for that?
No, I think that's
You
different
didn't
enough.
even say the right words.
Didn't I?
No. I just
What'd I say?
dying.
Anyway, I'm Justin. And with us is the ever delightful Amber.
Hi. I never will say my name in this podcast. I want you guys to know that. Not a huge fan of my name.
I'm just going to make sure that you have to introduce other Ambers over and over and over.
Okay.
We'll just have a list
That's
of people
fine.
to thank,
I
and it's just
know.
all amber.
I know a couple of Ambers, but like
On your reviews, give different amber names, so she has to read
Alphabetically.
alphabetically. I'll give you one that I kind of like, Amber Rose, and not a lot of people like her. I think she's a bad bitch.
Do you know there's like 3 famous, like quote unquote famous Ruby Rose?
Fucking Ruby Rose.
There's like the one that everybody knows, and then there's like a rapper Ruby Rose, and
There's
then
like
there's
an OnlyFans Ruby Rose.
yeah, there's an
and I was
influencer
like,
Ruby Rose.
who is this? And I'm like, that's not Bae. Bae is the Australian Ruby Rose.
I forgot she was Australian.
Who does DJing and played in Orange is the New Black.
Isn't Hemsworth
Triple
Australian?
X. You said Hemsworth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just make them
Beautiful.
just fantastic out there.
It's like the Swedes,
I mean, yeah.
It's almost like shipping off a bunch of
Or-
criminals.
the Nords,
I was thinking about that the other
What
day
is
too.
Nords?
Norway, Nordic people,
Norwegians?
Norwegian, the Nordic people,
Nords?
Nords,
Never heard that in my whole entire life.
the
Not
Nords,
once.
the
Nords. That's horrible.
Nordic
That's
people.
like Nards.
I mean,
Who would want
Sure.
to sound like that?
well, considering the Nordic people are some of the most,
Nordic is fine.
yeah, but that's
is
the
weird.
Nords is the Nordic.
What?
What happened?
He said Nords and then he said Nordic. Nordic is
Oh my god.
better.
It's like, what?
She's just complaining about.
I'm always complaining.
I heard your dick is fine.
Oh, no.
I'm like, what happened?
Nordic.
That's why I clocked back in. I'm like, what's up?
Nordic is better than Nord.
Hated
So
it.
I was thinking about this the other day.
The other day.
The British fumbled so hard. Because if you think about it, they had control, I think. Well, control in the context of like the 1600s.
Mm-hmm.
They had control of Australia and America. Right?
And like 90% of the world.
I get that. But like, what are the 2 best continents out there? Really?
America.
Yeah, North America. Australia's like 3, only because everything wants to kill you and eat you. If it wasn't so dangerous, it would be like number 2.
Sure.
So you fumbled so hard, you just gave up Australia and sent all your criminals there. And then after a pretty decent war, you just gave up America, which has uranium and oil and more land than anybody else besides Russia. And you just gave it away. I don't feel like it. And now you're stuck on a tiny little island to run your whole empire? Like, what a fumble. What a generational fumble. Like,
I don't have a comment on it because I don't know history because I'm an idiot.
and don't get me wrong, the Bank of England makes a lot of sense. We don't need, from their perspective, we don't need the whole world. We just need the whole world to deposit their money in our bank.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's our empire. We control your money. We're allowed to cut it off. We're allowed to interest payments. We're allowed to sanction it. Now it's our money. We don't need your country. We'd actually prefer if you... We'd actually prefer if you took over your own country, made everything, and then shipped it over to us instead, and we still kept your money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that thing about the Catholic Church, like the Holy Roman Empire didn't actually die. It just transformed into the Vatican.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I mean, when you look at it that way, it's not so much of a fumble. It's just a change with the times. I don't know. Because, I mean, if you occupy America all the way through the 1900s and the 2000s, what are you going to do with it that we didn't do better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
In Australia, I have no idea. That's a toss-up. No clue what goes on over there or why. But
I don't even think Australians actually know what goes on over there.
I think they just like being left alone.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And I love that the population is so small. for the amount of land that they have. Again, if it wasn't 90% trying to kill you or eat you, Australia would be my number one place. But everything wants to eat you or kill you. Like,
Yeah.
it's not even like a meme at this point.
I would love to visit Sydney.
I heard, and this is just an opinion I heard from another known podcast. I heard Sydney's a shithole.
It could be.
And that's all I've heard. They went there recently, like within the last month. They were like, Sydney sucked.
I mean,
They
that's
said
fair
it's
enough.
boring as hell, too. Because it's
Well-
so expansive. There's nothing to
yeah,
do.
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
there's nothing
Yeah,
to do.
As far as that goes, then yeah, that would make sense.
They said they literally stayed in their hotel rooms like 3 out of the 4 days.
See,
And just, there was nothing to do. So I think the European British fumbled hard. But I think the Ottomans fumbled harder.
The couches?
I was about ready to make that joke. Yeah, because there's one in every house.
They're like, we don't need an empire. We can have footrests and make just as much money. We don't need an army or slaves.
What are the Ottomans? Yay, you guys did the double taps. Tap, tap.
The Ottomans were out of where? It was China? Tibet?
No, it was
Ottawa.
Middle
Ottawa's
East,
so good.
Yeah, good stuff.
Where are they out of?
They're just Canadians that were upset.
Oh my God.
Ottawa? Ottoman.
They pull up in a bunch of Dodge Rams.
What you know, bud?
Jesus Christ. What did you say?
I said, what you know, bud? Anyhoozle. No, it was like, if I remember correctly, now I could be very wrong, and please fact check me on that. Just be nice.
Comment down
I think it was
below.
like, yeah, I think it was like Turkey and
Oh, that sounds right.
yeah, the Middle Eastern like area of that area. The Middle Eastern area of that area. Good. Way to go.
Good words.
Good words are wording today. That's
Love
for sure.
that.
I'd like to find out what happened to the Huns. Because you know the whole thing, but I don't know why there's no more Huns.
They're just in hiding.
The Mongolians had something
They're
to say
hunting.
about that.
They're hunting. I was going to say it. The Mongolian what?
The Mongolians had something to say about that.
The Huns?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm just.
I was going to say, like,
history.
I get like people were fighting it back against them, but like you hear about it and you're like, no, they were unstoppable juggle-knobs. Like,
So were the Mongolians. China built the Great Wall of China to keep Mongolia out.
I'm assuming this has been fact-checked about 1,000 times,
Probably.
but I've seen the TikToks where people are like, if it was built to keep the Huns out, why are the aeroports pointed towards China?
You were going to say I saw a TikTok. I thought you were going to say I watched Mulan. And I was like, me too.
Most racist shit you've ever said.
No, they talk about the Huns.
Do they?
Yes?
Is that who's
Yes?
like killing everybody?
Yes.
Oh.
Because it's China.
Oh, yeah.
Silly.
We should watch Mulan.
We should. I love Mulan.
I'd be down for that.
I feel like this is
Let's
fast
get
turning into a
down
movie
to
podcast.
business.
I think
To
it's just what we.
defeat the Huns. Literally.
Beautiful.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
That's what they say.
They do say that. Well, they sing it, but yes.
Suck like my dick with the whole music and me singing and everything. But yeah.
Disney immediately fucking flags the
Bing.
episode. Yeah.
Bing bong.
AI Mickey's like, what's up then? What's up? What's up?
What's up?
That's why we have Steamboat Willie on our team. Because
That
he's in
should
the
be
public
our-
domain.
Yeah.
No, that's not in the public domain.
You're like, no.
No, Tony.
No,
Tony,
Tony.
We've created a
Legitimately,
monster.
I think not to get off subject, and we can go right back, but I just want to point out the fact that I think Cam Patterson is one of the funniest people they have
Ever.
on that show as a recurring guest.
I agree.
think ever. One of the funniest people
He
ever.
is he is right in line with Shane Gillis, but I think Cam's
the guy with
energy.
Down syndrome?
Holy shit.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Basically, yeah. But I think
necked him.
yeah. He was like, "Oh, you missed me."
Hey, they did that to me too.
Who?
The doctors?
Who did? Oh,
I
okay.
was like, what?
No, they told me that, or they told my mom and my dad that whenever I was going to be born, I was supposed to be Down syndrome.
Did you ever find out who Ed was?
Who it was?
Who Ed is?
No, I did not.
What?
People called her special, but she never found out who Ed was.
You're the worst.
What has this podcast become? Canceled.
If you're listening on your way to work, it's just to give a good time before sitting down in front of a computer.
I'm just listening to the sign.
Remember.
Aliens?
No, it says stay weird.
Remember.
Oh yeah, I wanted to put that in our room with our dumpling.
What?
Yeah.
In the studio. No, in the studio, not the room.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
In our room.
What dumpling?
There's a neon sign. We were trying to find like what would be the best sign to put in our podcast room. And so like they had stupid ones where it was like
dumpling.
hello
Live, laugh,
or
love.
lust or like whatever.
Lips.
And yeah, and like lips or like a strawberry. And we went to Five Below during Christmas when they had all like their sales and stuff. And we found a dumpling and we were like, this needs to go in there. But the other thing is, and we've already told you about it, so we can continue to talk about it until we actually do it. It was also one of those things where we wanted to buy random portraits and just put them in the house all over the place without you really knowing until there was like an abundance of them. And then you tell it better.
So you're saying it'd be a good DM?
Let's not go back to that. Anyways, DM Dungeon Master, he got salty. Fuck off.
So
anyways,
because you live in what I can only describe to the people
Fuck
as
off.
a barren motel,
Sure.
the walls are
he
blank.
doesn't have anything on the walls other than this
There's 2 lamps.
bokeh
Oh yeah.
big ass mirror
So 1989,
with 2 palm
absolute
trees.
Florida boy. Palm tree giant mirror on the wall.
You're acting like I brought it. It was
I thought
in the
you
house.
did.
No. It was in the house when I moved
Yeah,
in.
you did. I swear to
No,
God, I thought you
it's
put it up there.
Glued to the wall.
Yeah, because you can't take it down because it's giant.
Yeah.
It probably weighs as much as she does.
Yeah,
Probably. It's massive.
So we got to take all
My
the
mom
boys
loves it.
out.
So-
Anyways,
So because it's so sparsely decorated, it's hard to add to your decor without you immediately noticing a live, laugh, love or a coffee me before speaky me.
It's almost like I'm a bachelor male that
straight male.
Straight male
Let's put
that
that out.
just doesn't
straightish.
care.
No, it definitely screams bachelor, but it is hard to
Work around
pull an elaborate
Heist.
plank,
Yeah.
heist without you immediately clocking going, the hell is that?
Because you know I would notice it. Too.
Yeah. I still want to hang the guitars
That'd be
aft
sick.
and stern of it.
I say
Oh, Captain.
on
my
our
Captain.
monthly board, like our next month part of the board,
Yeah.
we should put removing that mirror because I'm sorry, Ryan, I don't like it.
I love it. It's never coming down.
No, it needs to come down.
She can't lift it. It's never
not
coming down.
coming down because my mom likes it.
I
so.
love that mirror.
We
Yeah.
can put it in her room
Just
Where?
a giant.
on the on the bathroom side of the wall.
A whole wall mirror. Oh, dear.
That takes up the entire wall.
We're not moving the mirror.
She likes it. She can have it in her room.
Yeah, but it can stay out here. It's fine. It makes the room feel bigger.
Tell her if she can do it without literally blowing it to pieces, it's on her. I can't even lift that thing. It's enormous. That's a 4 or 5 person mirror.
You understand, like, I don't have any tall friends. I don't have any friends.
Oh.
I do have friends, but we're all girlies. I'm like 5'2".
We need a laugh track.
Anyways.
No, I like it. I don't.
You guys really
want
don't want to take that out?
No.
No, hell no. I love that mirror.
What are we going to put in here?
Like I said, the guitars.
Live, laugh, love?
Yes, but we have to decorate first.
You can't
Ooh.
decorate with that.
I don't live there.
Can.
No, you can't.
The Mojave.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Imagine living in one of those houses
Imagine living with this
and
freaking
walking
mirror.
out your back door and seeing just a giant mirror with palm trees on it.
It's like
it's hanging on
etched.
your fence.
It's not even like palm trees, like as a decal. It's etched
It's
in
laser,
the mirror.
it's laser
And-
etched
Oh,
into
it's so
the mirror.
good.
It's great.
and
It's
the mirror has
frosted.
mirror borders.
Do you know how much that
It is-
mirror was when
I
it was
love
first
you
Oh,
made?
yeah.
guys.
Hundreds of dollars,
I
dude.
love you guys. This is one of the worst pieces ever I've seen.
No,
in
that's the thing.
house.
It's so gaudy. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Honestly,
No.
it is the
I'm not- it's not-
quintessential
it's-
old
Okay,
Florida house.
I got it. What we do
Oh dear.
is
Here we go.
we put the two this sip and paint things that we did, the orange ones.
Yeah.
We put those two on the top. And then we have to do sip and paints, and whatever we make, we have to put it on that wall to make it as gaudy as possible. But it has to be like Boca or California themed.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, I
And we can do that
actually
as, like, a
just
podcast
make
thing,
it as
too.
gaudy as possible.
Okay, if we make it as gaudy as possible, I'm down with it.
We'll do a sip and paint episode.
But
Yeah, that would be great.
I like that.
I can't paint.
Me
I can't-
neither. Oh, dude, I did a good
I
one.
he
can't
did a
art.
great.
I
He did
can't
better
art.
than
I
me.
can't paint. I did such a good
You
one.
both say that you can't do it, but I'm pretty sure your shit would turn out better than
I
mine.
can't art.
But
The
my
the
thing
famous
is-
quote of Bob Ross: "Your shit would turn out better than mine."
My thing is though,
Anybody can
Whether-
shit on a painting.
whether it's
It was a spit take. No. How are you not recording?
whether it's one or two things, I'm sorry, Mom, but I have to put a witchy thing in here
I don't
Why are you
care.
sorry, Mom?
because Mom's Christian
Not
or
anymore.
Catholic or Catholicism.
Not anymore.
His mom?
Oh, I thought you were talking about your mom.
No.
was like, no, your mom's just
No,
Republican.
No. The mic was in my tits. Sorry if you couldn't hear me.
Just how we want it.
I
The
don't
stand
have tits.
slowly deflated into
It
her
did.
chest.
Your mom wouldn't be mad? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
She doesn't have to live with it.
I know, but she has to see when she's here.
She has to see my tattoo whenever I'm there, and she.
Ooh, that
Ooh,
part.
she's gonna be so mad at us.
Does that mean that we're getting tattoos on Saturday?
No.
We probably won't be able to on
Yes.
Saturday because I don't get off work until 4
We
o'clock.
go after hours.
We have Max with us.
Have him get a tattoo.
He probably won't get a tattoo.
You better get a tattoo.
Does he have a tattoo?
No.
What is up with you Wisconsin boys?
I'm not even going to acknowledge that.
Ryan's from Wisconsin. Somewhere in Wisconsin.
I forgot Illinois was a state.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Yeah.
GeoGuessr.
He's like, I thought Chicago was a state, and I
We were
thought I
playing
was
GeoGuessr. Wow.
The classic
Dump your
Florida
purse
Love you,
out.
love
education.
you. I
Jesus.
didn't know you heard me.
The classic Florida education showing its true colors.
Bro, Florida education is the worst, but we can't talk about school with Justin anymore because he gets PTSD.
I only got
I
through like
said,
10. No, I didn't get through 10 grades. I got through 11 because I got held back once.
I said, I think it's in Kansas. And you go, where's Kansas? And immediately go to the West Coast.
I know
Is it by
there's-
Texas?
I know there's
Kinda.
Oklahoma, Ohio. Almost said Nevada.
That
I mean, you kind of went to
It's a
Nevada when I said
state.
Kansas.
New
so-
Mexico, Florida,
Nevada?
Texas. No, New Mexico. Florida,
Arizona.
Texas, New York, Maine,
What are
Virginia,
you saying?
Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Idaho.
Are you saying the states in order?
No, not in order. Definitely not.
I know them in
That's-
order.
I think that's like mostly all I know.
I know alphabetical order.
We're not going to do that.
I know.
That's
That's the song. I learned it in kindergarten.
The Department of Education at work.
I've been
Somebody had to approve that.
I've been to every single state east of
Where
the
did you
Mississippi
learn that
except
song?
for school.
Like
I
what grade?
I don't remember.
Except for what?
I was Rhode
Second
Island.
grade, maybe.
I was Rhode Island.
Oh, we just learned it in class.
no,
didn't
we
have
had
like
our own little states, and I was
Yeah, we
Rhode
didn't.
Island. I was like, "What the fuck is Rhode Island?"
It's an island
Me.
that has a road on it.
Obviously.
That's pretty much it. It's real small.
It's about the same size as this house, actually.
You've been to everywhere
Shout
but
out
what?
to Rhode Island.
Everywhere east of the Mississippi, but I'm not counting Minnesota.
Where's the Mississippi?
Mississippi is what divides
Oh
the
my
states.
God.
I assume
in half.
Mississippi.
It runs from Minnesota and runs down the border of Illinois,
From where?
Minnesota.
Is that a state?
Yes,
Okay.
Baby.
it's north.
Baby.
I know Minnesota was like a
Honestly,
county.
I thought Mississippi. What's near Louisiana? Because I thought Mississippi was more towards Louisiana.
Mississippi is
She said, and I'm the idiot.
near Louisiana.
Right, it's towards the middle, right?
The state of Mississippi is bordered, or it borders Louisiana.
Okay.
The Mississippi River is what divides the United States.
Heard.
Did it come from the
Got
Great
it.
Lakes?
No,
Oh.
it starts
Okay.
in Minnesota, like
Gross.
literally in the middle of the state.
Minnesota is like,
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
isn't it over by, not really, but kind of by like Wisconsin?
Yeah, it directly
it
borders
touches it,
Wisconsin.
right?
Yeah, it directly borders
Oh
Wisconsin.
my God. People are
No,
driving their
Minnesota
car
was-
into the oncoming lane.
Minnesota was the one that we looked at, and you were like, it's that big, right?
The land of 1,000 lakes.
It's like it's upper,
The Finger
next to North Dakota, right?
North
So
Yeah.
North and South Dakota's on the western side.
Yeah, and
And
then you have
Wisconsin's on the eastern side.
yeah,
And then below it is Iowa.
you literally were like, "That's how big that state is," and I was like, "Yeah, baby."
I think I've been to at least, same as you, probably every state except one or two in my travels. We've been at least to every state below,
Nope, I'm a big fat liar.
everything below Tennessee. I've been to everything. And
Yeah.
then above that, we've been to New York, we've been to DC, we've been to, what's the one with the giant ass rock?
You talking about Massachusetts?
That sounds right, yes. I've been to that one. We
That's
were
Boston,
not
Plymouth
Boston.
Rock,
Yes, Plymouth Rock. We've been there.
Massachusetts.
No, it was like I was like 12, and my parents were insane people, and they were like, "Hey, why don't we load 3 very small children who hate each other
Montana.
in a Suburban with Granny and drive all the way to New York and DC and back?" Insane people.
Minnesota.
My mom and dad took us on a trip to the Northeast one year. I don't remember what age I was, but we were young, and my sister was around, so she was old enough to go on the trip and not be like a child, like a baby. But I don't remember how old we were. We took my grandpa's van. My grandpa and grandma came with us. And so it was my dad, mom, grandpa, grandma, and then us 3 kids in one of those Dodge vans, the ones with the big like captain's chairs that
Oh
would
yes,
spin,
those are the best.
and mood lighting, like the extended top on it, so you could actually like fully stand up as an adult
so
male.
y'all were rich.
That was grandpa's van.
That's so
and
such a nice
it
van.
just like sofa seating in it, and had a VHS TV in it, so we could watch movies on the trip. But we went up and toward the
Were you
northeast.
neighbors with the Kennedys? Jesus.
They
No, it's
lived
just
in
Grandpa's
Florida.
van. Just Grandpa's van. We took it up and visited everything in the Northeast. In fact, one of our family's favorite stories from that trip was me knocking the plate out of a very large man that got pissed because I knocked his plate out of his hands. He was holding his buffet plate over the top of a young child who could get up at any moment. And guess what I did? I got up at a random moment and then knocked his plate out of his hands. And I apologized to him, and he's like, "I knew that was going to happen." And my dad was my dad barked at him like, "If you knew that was going to happen, then you shouldn't have done it."
You look up as a child and make the crying eyes
Yeah.
emote.
I mean, I helped clean it up because I was a good little boy.
No, you
And I was
weren't.
very upset. But
Boys aren't good boys.
He's like,
Wow.
I'm covered in spaghetti and pudding. Help.
I think they got crab legs there. They got Maine lobster there.
Back to my original point. You're like nephews with the
Ryan's so
Kennedys.
rich.
No, we weren't rich by any means.
He just had a farm. No big deal.
That's the other side.
No big deal. What a stadium, dude.
Nobody
Yeah, that's
in
crazy.
Florida has a farm.
What are you talking about? Yes, there is literally a farm right off of Lake Jessup. You can see the cows grazing.
How big is it?
I don't know.
Is it as big as your farm was?
I don't know.
I'm just saying. There are no actual farms in Florida.
I think the biggest swath
What?
of land I've seen in Florida is like 100 acres. Like, that's it. Like, that's the biggest I've ever seen somebody own as one entity. Like, it ain't nothing like the hectares that are in freaking Montana.
So one person owns this one plot of land.
yeah.
Do they own multiple plots of land?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've seen
Okay,
plenty
so-
of people own multiple parcels, but I'm saying like one
Yeah.
continuous? No idea. Acreage. I've seen like one person have 100 acres. That's the max I've ever seen.
And I don't know what our parcels up in Illinois are. But
Do you, how
It
how
can't
far
be
do you have to
100
drive
acres
from like
and
one
one
side
parcel.
to the other?
they don't own all one continuous thing.
That's what he was saying.
It's literally like one farm because it's a family operation. So it's one house, like 3 barns.
But is it all of your family together?
No.
It's multiple people that you guys don't know?
No, so it is one house
Yeah.
with just my grandma living there.
Yeah.
And that house has pasture surrounding it.
It's that house.
But it's not, no. It has pasture
I
surrounding
want
it. It's
it.
got barn. It's got a bunch of cattle living there. And then it's got all the farm implements. So the combine, the tractors, the discs, the spreader, all whatever,
Yeah.
the drills.
But like what I'm saying though is like I understand there are like farm lands in Florida, but it's like I feel like it's not even like 5 acres.
Do you know what an acre
No.
is? Okay. Because that plot of land that I'm talking about where the
Mhm.
cattle are grazing is definitely way more than 5 acres.
Okay.
Way more.
You're saying over by Jessup?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There is no way. I think I can see 10 acres.
So you personally can see 10 acres like in
Driving
general?
past that area, that's
like I'm not
fenced
trying to
in.
sound like an
Yes.
idiot. I just don't know
You can
distance.
see.
I have depth,
You can
horrible depth perception. like it's bad.
see 10. You can see probably 10 acres.
Like a
at
normal
least.
person, how many acres can you see?
You can see over 10 miles. So you
Can
as a
you?
oh yeah. On a
You can.
good day,
I can't.
the average person can see about 10 miles based off of height.
No, I'm
that you're
saying
at.
like ground level.
Ground level, so you can see as with your human eyes, you
Yeah.
can see 10 miles based off of the height of the object you're looking at.
Okay.
Like if it's flat,
If it's flat and
well, Earth
the
is
angle
flat.
well, like the ocean.
I'm just kidding.
the
Ryan's eye rolls right now.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Thanks, hated it.
Yeah. No, so it just depends on how high up, because the Earth curves at a certain amount, and at a certain point you can't see anything anymore because it's curving away from you.
But does it curve?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it does. As much as I love to joke about that stuff,
I got you.
yes,
I understand.
it does. It 100% does. There is scientific,
But
not even evidence, proof.
But what's science? Science is made up.
Science is a process that we use.
Science is made up.
Science is a process that we use to understand the world around us.
But who made up science?
It is a process that we use.
Who are you, Bill Nye?
Science, yes, science is technically made up, but it's a process we use to understand the world.
It's like magic.
It is.
Yeah, but it could be magic.
No.
I was right there.
Absolutely
It
not.
could be magic. It could be made up.
No.
It could be
He
fugazi.
said
Fugazi.
no. No.
No, because what science is not some extraterrestrial energy that happens and makes
Okay,
people
but
think. It
what
is
about-
a process. It is okay, so I think it's this.
What
I
about
do testing to see if it's this, and if it's not, then I change my original thought and then do testing to see if that works.
But what about Christianity, Scientology?
That's not. I mean,
Those are two entirely different
I was
things.
gonna
That's a
say.
thing.
And they're entirely different from science.
But it has science in the name.
No.
So it must be made up.
No.
No.
Just saying, everything's
said-
made
I hate
up.
No.
all of this.
No.
Have
I
you
hate-
ever been to the moon? Have you ever seen the actual Earth round?
No, because it's impossible to see it without
Right,
being
so it's made
at
up.
the moon. No, it's not.
I'm just fucking with
I know, it
everybody.
pisses
I
me
hope
off, though.
everybody
Like, it-
understands that.
It pisses me off.
I want to be the dumb ditch just for a second.
look.
I swear to God, I understand.
No curve.
It's just, yeah, no curve.
We're looking at 4K images of Earth just from around the planet.
The mountain is curved.
I don't see a curve.
The mountain is right there. But that's a silhouette curve.
Do you subscribe to the Great Flood or like the Great Mud thing? Of
The
like,
mud flood? No.
Yeah.
No.
What is with all the buildings being buried to the first floor? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
What is that?
What is up with that?
I don't know.
I don't get that
I
either.
know there's like good explanations for stuff, but I
Can
don't
you guys
know what.
explain it
I
for
don't
me?
think I've ever had it explained in general.
My fairly analytical brain, I look at that, I'm like, okay, what's up with that? Like, normally I'm like, that's dumb. I'm moving on. That's a stupid conspiracy. I wish they hadn't even introduced that to the general aura of the internet. I saw that and I was like, hold up, wait a minute, what's up with that?
So the idea of the mud flood is,
It was recent, like the
buildings-
1800s, right?
yeah, because all of the buildings that they're dealing with were right around the Industrial Revolution. So it was 1800s. We had this big buildup of architecture and stuff, and cities were being like actually built up as cities as what we know them as today. And then sometime in the late 1800s, early 1900s, this massive flood of mud covered all of Earth or whatever, and covered so much that the ground floor of what you see is not the ground floor that it was in 1850.
What is it, like 21 feet or something?
Yeah, it's
is what
something.
they're like normally.
So
They're like 18
Florida?
to 21 feet. Normally what they're talking about when they show these pictures
Mhm.
is like old buildings.
Is all over everywhere or just the states?
I don't know.
Again, from what I can see,
That's what
it's
I'm
just
wondering,
North
like-
America.
Okay, so it could be just North America.
For whatever
I don't
reason,
All of North
that's
America
what I've seen a lot of. Is like,
just
oh,
had mud.
why is like this building in Chicago 18 feet buried in the ground? And I'm like, that's weird. And then they show another one from like DC. Again, this is a 3
Not
or
to
4
sound like
story
an
building.
Idiot, but like basements?
No, so
That's a
the
good
first-
point. It could just be a basement.
Yeah, it 100. So the first floor of a building is now covered. What looks like, so if you were to excavate all the dirt away from it,
Yeah.
it looks like what would be
Oh, yes. That's a good point.
storefront on a street level.
Doesn't look like a basement.
It doesn't look like,
There's
because you
a
wouldn't
door.
have all the ornate stuff, and you wouldn't have the front door like you would.
There's a front door and windows. And it's
underneath all of this mud.
Ground.
Yeah,
it's not
all
mud
ground.
Anymore. It's just the ground. So they excavate these buildings down like 18 feet.
Why are they excavating 18 feet?
Well,
because they have to do repairs and different stuff, solidify.
18 feet?
That's what I'm saying. Like the first floor of this building is covered up to the second floor.
So the second floor is now the ground floor.
And there's
this is just weird.
Exactly.
It's very confusing because
it's
nobody
very
has
confusing.
Nobody has exact
or at least I haven't looked at it yet.
Or well, even like from what I've seen, because Max and I covered it in a podcast several years ago. But even what I remember from it, there is no consistent evidence as to why. Like, for instance, Chicago.
So it's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. That's why I'm like, I can't wrap my brain around this, but this is the first time I've ever heard this.
Yeah,
but it's not like
nobody really can.
But it's not like these pictures are faked. The moon landing was staged. It's like, no. We have the pictures. The building's real. It really happened. We see what this is. And then I look at that and I'm like, okay, what the hell does that mean? Like, what do you mean multiple buildings across multiple states in the North America were covered up by like 18 to 20 feet of dirt?
So,
and it ain't a basement. These have like, there's like
actual doors.
There's like front doors and like windows that have been fully covered. I'm like, what the hell is that? Like,
but is it everywhere or is it just like certain parts of the state?
There is no consistent like explanation for it. So it's not if it was everywhere, then that would be consistent. But there is no consistent. It's just it's just Chicago.
But that's what I'm saying.
Place. It's this place. It's not consistent.
They've only excavated 18 feet in like
a
place here or a place there. Or...
It's not even excavating. It's like doing repairs or repairing the ground. Like, for instance, one of them was a courthouse, and I don't remember where it was.
That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, so the courthouse. The reason they did it was to level out the city in the downtown area. So they built this area up so that they could do water piping, sewage piping, all this other stuff, underground parking, all of this extra stuff. So they raised it up, and all of a sudden the ground was at the same level as the second floor entrance to this courthouse.
So I'm showing.
And then when they were going in and repairing the grounds of the courthouse, they dug all that dirt back out, and all of a sudden it looks like the courthouse goes down another story.
But okay, but like I said, my question is this just one area that they've done this in, or this is multiple areas?
Yeah, so they claim it's Chicago, they claim it's Kansas, they claim it's Washington D.C., they claim it's all over the place.
So that's kind of what I'm getting at, though. All over the place means all over the place.
Yeah, but it's not.
Or is it like spot here, a spot here, a spot here?
They claim it's cities and towns all over the place, but it's not consistent as far as it's not Springfield, Illinois, and between St. Louis and Chicago, even though there are reasons that St. Louis and Chicago would have streets below the main ground level, you know? So like Chicago, the main ground level, if you were to drive on the main ground level, you would be on Top Wacker Drive.
Yeah.
Okay? Underneath Top Wacker, you have
a whole
Lower Wacker. And then you have Lower Wacker.
Okay.
So you have 3 Wacker drives that are perched on top of each other. The lowest one, I believe, would be underground if you go back all the way to Chicago's founding. Lower Wacker Drive, which is the middle one, would be ground level. And the reason they built it up was because the city was growing so fast that they really could not, and it's a swamp, but they could not control. So they brought in all this dirt and raised the city level up so that they could have more ground level to work with for utilities and stuff.
Can they test that this was all in the same time period?
Yes, they can. Have they? I don't know.
Okay. Makes sense.
I don't think...
that was going to be my other question too, is like, did this happen simultaneously or...
It happened... So if you look at all the places they are claiming,
Mm-hmm.
all of them support a building up of the ground level to put in utilities that did not exist when the city was founded. So they need trash in a city like Chicago. And I'm using Chicago because it's the easiest to explain, because you can actually look and see the process as to why it was built up. They need garbage collection to be done. Where is the easiest way in a city of 2 million people? Where is the easiest place to collect garbage?
Yeah.
Underground. Because then you don't run into all the traffic that's happening on ground level.
Makes sense.
Where is the easiest to put underground transportation? Underground. What's the easiest to put like special tunnels for interacting with different city services? Underground. So the idea is they built these utilities and gas lines and steam lines, like New York City was built up. They put all of this stuff under or above where the ground level was because they could not really dig down. And then they built up the city because you still have to excavate all this dirt out of where the buildings are so that you can put these pylons down and lower parts of the building to keep the building from literally toppling over under its own weight. Where are you going to put all this dirt? You're not just going to drive it out into the middle of the United States. That doesn't make any sense. So that's where they put all the dirt. So all these buildings that have those basements, those foundations and everything, they pulled all that dirt and then re-leveled the surface so that it was consistent with a normal level. And so that's where, at least that's the explanation. But I haven't seen an explanation that actually makes more sense than that.
I'm looking.
Just from a quick AI, Spain, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan.
Yeah,
So
and
like all the
it's not
usual.
even different places in the United States, or
Those
like
are just the ones that I've heard.
Yeah,
No, it's all over the world.
It's all over the world because it makes sense as far as city building. Old cities were built without sewer lines, like actual sewer lines like we have today.
Right.
Yeah, and I learned that in art history. Like this.
So what's easier, trying to
specifically right here? For anybody that's listening or whatever can't see it
or whatever.
It's sorry. It's a lot like the sewer systems in Game of Thrones. Like that's the best way to explain that. And they're literally like under the building. So if you look at the first picture, that sewer line.
Why is the building buried?
I don't know.
That's what I'm at. Like
I understand
what it's built for.
But in the picture,
why the hell was it buried in the first place?
In the picture,
Where is that? Do you know?
It looks like
it's
the UK to me.
It's showing like
it
a building
could have been damaged.
And then
it looks
half
damaged.
Of the sewer.
I get it, but like, why the hell is there 18 feet below the ground?
Maybe
they didn't build that underground.
Well,
that's ornate. I hear you. Yeah.
What I just explained. That's the most logical explanation that I have is because as cities, especially old cities like London, like where who the fuck cares?
I get you.
All of these old cities that were built on ground level, and then we have a growing population and growing technology that makes steam tunnels possible, that makes sewer, water,
just that picture
gas,
alone,
all of this stuff. So how are we supposed to dig down and try to maze through these buildings that are already here?
Yeah.
Why not raise the ground level up with all this dirt that we have access of? Because the cities are growing. Why not raise that ground level up and put everything in and then put the ground down?
So you're saying they intentionally buried the first floor of these buildings?
Yeah.
In some cases, yes. In some cases, no.
That sounds insane.
I think it's
I get
it sounds more logical
Yeah.
than, oh, no, it was just a giant mud flood that happened all over the world.
No, I'm not even talking about the mud flood anymore.
That's what we were talking about.
And that's why
that's what we were talking about.
I connect the logical dots with you, but the idea that like, because I look at it in this time, this day and age, the idea of like, definitely just bury the first floor and build a house on top. Like, That sounds insane.
It sounds insane
What are you
now
talking
because we
about?
have the
Like-
technology to
Yes.
run those lines a lot easier,
Yes,
whereas they
totally,
did not
yeah.
in early 1900s.
Just sounds insane from like this year's,
Yeah,
like
what-
this.
Absolutely.
I'm like, what the hell are you talking
Mhm.
about? You just buried the first. Why the fuck wouldn't you just keep the first floor open? And now you have a 2-story. Like it doesn't. It sounds insane. Like
But a lot of these buildings were already built that high. So story number 2 was already built, which is why
they just put a front door.
they
in.
just put a front door in.
That sounds insane.
It
Jesus
does,
Christ. Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't know what other explanation is to why it would be like that.
I also think the Library of Alexandria would really clear up a lot of this shit.
Well, the
Like-
Library of Alexandria was well before any of this.
No, I not the mud flood. I'm saying like
Oh, understood.
when people are like, "How did they do this?" It's like, nope.
Yeah.
We had a full
Mhm.
book about it. Like, don't
was all
worry.
burnt.
Like, Jesus Christ, the human virus is such a plague.
Well,
What have we done?
it's I would argue less about human, and I think it's just an end result of
Greed.
not greed, but just an end result of becoming sentient, and because animals still do it. Like it's not like war because they're not like as whatever,
There are some animals.
developed as us. But like chimpanzees, their little tribe
Yeah.
that they have, if another tribe comes in, they will attack because you're invading our space
Yeah.
and we don't know you and you're a threat.
There are other animals that will go scorched earth on another animal's
Mhm.
territory.
Yeah.
They don't want it for themselves. They just want to
Yeah.
destroy it so you
Because-
can have it.
Because yeah,
That's insane.
I think it's just as a result of evolution. It's just what it is.
At the end of this, like when we're up to like 100 episodes or something like that, I'd like to go back and make a montage of me spouting facts that are unchecked and then being like exaggerated from my own explanation. Like, oh my God, that's so crazy. I just said that.
That would be fun. That would
Oh my
be
God, did you hear that fact I just said? That's so crazy.
Episode 100 is Justin
Yeah.
fact checked.
Oh my God, man.
I want to see that so bad.
Episode 100, part 1, Justin fact checked. Part 2, Ryan fact checked. Part 3, Amber fact checked.
I don't need a fact check.
Oh, you're
Everybody's gonna
gonna
fact
get
check me
destroyed.
all the
You're
time.
going to
I
get it.
know,
We're
it's
all going
fine.
to do it.
It's
but
fine.
we're-
My thing is,
It's fine. It's fine.
I want
I hate
like our main listeners or the people who literally like listen to us constantly. And I'll say it, if we ever bring this back up again, I feel like everybody should put at least one fact check
Oh, yes.
for one of us
And then we'll
through
yes.
this whole
Mhm.
entire
every episode.
God.
shit show.
We'll never
Like-
get through the comments.
Mhm.
Ah,
Beautiful.
We're
I
gonna have to
will
hire
read
somebody to
them.
read the comments.
I'm one of those people that
Jesus.
I'm female. It's okay. And I'm not saying this for every female, but my thing is me specifically and all my other female friends
Expert gaslighter.
love I was gonna say love gaslighting. love
Fact
the,
confirmed.
love the gossip and love the tea. Me personally, I'm kind of like, if it's about me and it's shit talking, I don't like it, but I love the tea. So like if we could get an actual fact check, at least one or two between like all of us, it'd be perfect.
I would love just divvying that up into our episode 100 special where we just go through fact check comments. And it doesn't have to be like a full hour long episode. We just do episode A, part B, part C, and just run through just comments that are fact checking each one of us. I think that would be
We would
a
have to
blast.
figure that one out.
They're all just gonna be like, you're idiots.
Which
Facts.
facts?
All
We
three of
already
you
know
were
that.
idiots.
Facts. You can't put that and be a fact check, but
Thanks. Hated it.
literally like a fact check, like something that I said. And if I'm being like an idiot on purpose, you don't have to fact check me on
Do
that.
Do it to all of us.
But literally fact checks, and then I like that.
I think that would be fun.
episode 100.
And just having to sit there as like Justin getting fact check and just sit there
Are
as
we
Amber.
reading the fact checks to him?
Yes, to him. So he has to sit there and take it.
I will walk out of this podcast.
Literally looks like he's about to crawl out of his skin.
I'll walk
right
out of this
very
podcast.
second. How about?
But then
how about
then you
this?
get to do it to both of us
How about
too.
this? How about your
So it's
last?
not just that.
How about your last?
I don't care.
Ryan will be first because I'm
That's
a little
fine.
baby.
That's fine. I'll go first. I have no problem with that. I want to hear where I was wrong just so I can laugh and be like, "No, I was still right."
I was still
I was
right.
gonna say it. We can't even get through one fact. He's like, no. Hold
No.
on. I'm going to debate this.
And then that will be our hour-long episode, and then
Christ.
Justin literally, him and I only have like 20 minutes each.
I will walk off this show.
We'll just do a couple. Find the best ones. Be so good.
I'm excited for 100 episodes.
Yeah.
This is fun. I like doing this.
Yeah, I do too. It's a lot of fun. It's something that is going to be a challenge for sure. We're going to run into the different things, but I think as long as we stay somewhat conscious of the fact that, oh, we're skipping this week because of certain things, we're going to have to make up for it next week.
Yep.
As long as we stay conscious of that, that's the major thing.
Yeah.
And I think we definitely have to stay conscious through the week of it.
What's up?
And like pay attention to our viewers, because I'm sure there will be a lot of topic ideas that would be a lot of fun to discuss.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Open field day. If you have a suggestion, if you have a topic you want to hear about, open forum, let us know. Put it in the community notes. Put it in the comments. DM us at. That's fine.
Email us. It'll be in the show notes.
Yes. I was gonna. Ryan's a giant bitch at email.com.
Don't do that, because then I'm going to have to create it. And
It's only the most unhinged.
Can you please create that email?
Ryan's a giant bitch.
Yeah,
Jesus
so they can
Christ.
just like talk shit, so you don't have to talk shit about
okay,
yourself.
fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have a 1-star review, or if you want to just absolutely
good.
destroy
Ryan is
us,
a giant
Dang.
bitch
Send
at
it.
gmail.com.
Send it to the Gmail. If
Yes.
you want to put a 5-star,
It'll be flashing on the screen.
You
during this
better
Right now.
you better come correct.
just 1 star. Make it as
Heinous as
unhinged,
possible.
unhinged as you
Yeah.
possibly can, and you have to end it with "thanks, hated it."
If it's worth the 1 star, if it's worth the review being on the site, we'll put the 1 star on the site.
Oh, that would be so good.
You
We
get a
should do
coveted
an
1 star.
episode. We should do an
We'll
episode.
do an
One
episode reading the
stars.
comments and
But
doing
what
the
if
reviews.
they literally only put 1 star so that they can be on the podcast?
If they only put it on there so they can be on the podcast, that's fine.
It
But
better
then
be
we'd have a low-
It better be unhinged,
But
because to make
what's
it on there.
unhinged? You have to explain it because they're like, oh, everybody's pussies. Like,
Then that's lame.
Then it's not going to be on the podcast.
but then we're
They'll
just
know.
gonna get
They'll
really
hear it.
bad reviews and people won't watch us.
That'd be really funny.
You know what
That
I'm
would be really
saying?
We
Like,
tank our own podcast
Yeah.
asking
No,
for
we're
1
saying,
star.
we're saying send the reviews to ryanisagyntbtch at gmail.com.
if you want to put a 1 star.
Can you put bitch in your username on Gmail?
I don't know.
You
I
could
don't
put
know if
like
you can.
Well, we're gonna figure that out.
BXTCH,
Actually, that would,
because it's like thanks, hated it.
yeah, that would,
Yeah.
that
Ryan's a
would
giant batch.
Batch.
be
Ew.
TCH.
I love it.
No, like review the podcast like legitimately, but give us send us unhinged 1-star
Feedback.
reviews on email. I'll have the actual email address if I can figure it out.
Do not send us pictures
No.
of our own home.
No,
Do not do that. That is too unhinged. I'll call the cops.
yeah, actually,
Genuinely,
We'll
I'll
find-
come find you because I don't call the cops.
We'll find the IP address.
I'll come
Our-
find you.
our home is on a list at the local 911.
You're on a list.
Well, that's not
different
to be
list.
discussed here. Yeah. No, it is legitimately on a list at the dispatchers of the area. So do not do that because they will know.
Do it.
Did you say do it?
No, I
Jesus
said don't
Christ.
do it. Thanks, hated it.